How do you put a background on here in case I need
So we are live.
to? Ooh, what's this one? We are live. Let's go. Let's live. Episode 4. How about that? Episode 4. Yeah, let's pop.
Hey, y'all. What's up? It's another Tuesday and it's 9 p.m. So you know what that means. It's your girl Dani with my girl Coach Terry. It's episode 4 of Hits and Heels. Yes, we are 4 weeks in this thing. Right? So I was laughing because last week things got a little heated. Not between me and Terry, but just with our conversation. So you know we're about to continue this conversation from last week. Terry, what's going on, girl?
Nothing. So I'm leaving Louisville. I'm headed back home. Being the baby, I had football practice. So I'm an assistant coach with the Derby City Dynamite out of Louisville. We actually have a scheduled scrimmage on November the 12th against the Canadian team. So they're coming all the way from Toronto to get beat.
Right.
So so we've had to kind of expedite our practices and our season because we're
Mhm.
getting ready to have this scrimmage. So I'm not in the home studio today. I'm actually in the car studio on the way home today. And so hopefully we won't have too many technical difficulties. If not, I'll know you'll hold us down.
Oh yeah. Well, that's exciting. So tell everybody what's going on with the team. We need a recap. We need an update. We need something. So tell us what's going on with it's Derby
The
City, right?
Derby City Dynamite. Okay, so the Derby City Dynamite is part of the WFA, the Women's Football Alliance or Association, one of them. Um, and so there are like 52 pro women tackle teams in this league. And so the Derby City Dynamite is the only professional women's tackle team in the state of Kentucky, and it's located right out of Louisville. And it's funny because the background, I live in Lexington, but the background of this team actually originated in Lexington. The very first team was in Lexington, came out of Lexington, and they kind of disbanded, and then they ended up creating the Derby City Dynamite in Louisville. So I thought that was a great tidbit. So the team actually won their Division 3 national championship 2 years ago in 2021, and they were runner up in 2022, just a couple of months ago in June. So they actually played at
Mhm.
Kansas at the Hall of Fame field, and they had 7 turnovers in the championship game and only lost the game by 1 point. They were playing against Mile High out of Denver for the championship game. So we're
Wow.
looking forward to them, just tweaking some things. I came on staff. We're tweaking some of the things that they needed to help with the game protection. We got a lot of players returning. We got a lot of new players, but and we had some players that kind of skipped out last year that are also returning. So I'm really looking forward to seeing us put this whole team together because they are they're impressive. You can go watch the video on YouTube. We got some girls that can hit.
Yeah.
And this ain't
I
no powder
I
puff.
saw that one
Yeah,
the one
no pump.
yeah, I saw the one clip. It was a breakup in the end zone. She laid that girl out and all she did was go up for the ball and the that must have been their tight end. She was a big girl.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that lady is like hitting for
Hitting.
real
They
with her
hit.
little self.
Right. Yeah, they hit.
Yeah.
Right. So we're
So
actually, soliciting for women tackle football players that actually want to play. And in the Kentucky, and actually we want them from the state of Kentucky because it's a Kentucky team, if possible. But
right.
we do have people that come from Cincinnati, Indianapolis. I think we had a girl come up from Nashville, one from came up from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we actually have one girl on our team that flies all the way from Miami just to play.
What?
Like she was at practice like a couple weeks ago. Right. Like where did they do that at? Just to play tackle football. So just to have the opportunity to tackle football and play
Wow.
tackle woman, this is some of the things that people are going through in order to do that because it's so unheard of. And let
Right.
me tell you something. Why has the team been around for like 14 years? And I just heard about the team maybe 2 years ago.
Wow.
Right. So unheard of. So even when I tell
14
people
years. So I mean, it was in existence when I was living down there, and I had never heard of them.
they had never heard of it. Right. So I just thought that was just great. I love what they're doing. It gives women the opportunity because I think there's lots of women that want to play, um, that claim they want to play NFL. No, I am totally against that. There's no way that women can compete with men, just like the WNBA. There's some women that maybe can hang in it, but there's no way that you can be strong enough or faster than to be able to play with men. There's no way I'm getting ready to have um, um, Micah Parsons come hit me. Ain't no way. There's no way.
Yeah, we don't.
Right. And you'll
I
be a
think it's
fool
okay
to
for us to have our own stuff. Like
listen.
we don't.
I
We can do.
Yes.
We can do the same things, but we don't have to
Yeah, but
compete
we
with
gotta
them.
have our own. We don't have to compete with the men and stop trying to be on the men's team. To me, there's got to be a level of common sense to that. There's no way that
Yeah.
you can compete with, so stop, so my thing is for those women that want to be equal or that's not equal, that's being dumb. There's no way that you can compete on the same field, football field, as a grown man playing tackle football. There's no way. So I'm glad
Right.
that we're getting our own league and that we have our own league for those women that do have an interest in playing football. I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what you got going on, girl?
Well, so everything. It's been quite the week. Gosh, since I think our last episode, I was waiting to make this announcement. So now the cat's out the bag and we can finally talk about it. But so I just started my new position with the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference based out of New Orleans, or how y'all say it, Nolans. Nolans. I think that's how you say it. I think that's how I'm
New,
supposed to say it.
New
I'm gonna
Orleans.
learn. I'm gonna learn their vernacular down there. But I was hired by their commissioner, Dr. Kiki Baker Barnes, as the director of strategic communications. So I am back, officially back in athletics. It's official. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful. It is literally the opportunity of a lifetime. And so when she called me, I was floored. And the crazy thing is, she knew me as the author. Like she has my book.
Okay.
And so she was calling me and was kind of going through the like what was going on. I was initially confused because I was like, she's talking about the conference, and I'm thinking she's calling me to talk about her personal brand because she's got a banging personal brand too. So, um, Dr. Kiki's the truth. She is the
Okay.
truth. And when she offered me the job, I was just like, I was in shock.
Well,
And
it's
then,
nothing like call you for a job that you don't apply for.
man, let me tell you something. I was not looking for a job, another job, right? I was not looking for another job at all. I was not applying. Um, I still get like the higher ed job posts um every few days or whatever. So I do look, but I really wasn't like actively applying for anything, not anything. Um, and so when I got the call, it was just like, whoa. But what's really funny is that the week before I got the call, I think it was you and I that were talking. You had just started coaching, and I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind getting back into athletics. Like I miss being in athletics. And then I get this call. And it was like
So
God
we
is
had
super
just
fun.
had that conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think that it's totally a different experience when someone wants you, when they seek you out.
Yeah.
You're not looking for
Absolutely.
anything, you're not expecting it.
And you have
And so
right. And your
yeah,
reputation
so
precedes itself.
yeah. And so and it was funny, she was just like, when your
Proud of
name
you, sis.
when your name was recommended, she said when that person said your name to recommend you, she said the author, like Dani the author. And she was just like, she didn't make the connection at first that I was the same Danielle Wright that had worked at Clark Atlanta, Kentucky State, University of Cincinnati. She just knew me as the author. She was like, I got her book. So it's just crazy because these last 10 months, almost 11 months, have been such a big transition for me. You know, um, so many different steps and twists and turns and all of that. And so to get to this point is like, it's mind blowing to me. It's truly mind blowing. So I'm grateful. I'm excited. Um, and I'm just I'm really looking forward to all the things that are to come in this position.
That's good stuff. So tell me more about the conference. How many schools do you all have?
We have 8 schools right now.
Oh,
Um,
what are they?
yeah,
I know you just learned.
I know. I'm learning. I'm learning. So we have Fisk, um,
Out of
Fisk,
Nashville?
uh-huh,
Okay.
Fisk, Tougaloo, um, Philander Smith, Wiley, Dillard, Oakwood. I'm missing one. Rust and Rust College. Oh my gosh. This is terrible. Every time I name the schools, I always miss one. Oh, Southern University of Louisiana of New Orleans.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, so there's two schools in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
And it and
So
and the conference office is based out of New Orleans.
yes. Yep.
That's got to be nice. So however you get to go fly to New Orleans.
Not sure yet. I know I'll be down
I
there.
go all the time. New Orleans is nice.
Yeah, so and that's the other thing about the position right now. It's fully remote with the exception of traveling for championships, big meetings, major events and things like that.
What a blessing.
It is. It really is. So I'm excited. I'm excited. It's already great. It's already been great. So I know that it's going to get better. The team of administrators that we have in the conference office, they're amazing. They're amazing. And so
Good stuff.
the
So
fact that,
let me transition let me transition into the fact that you all just lost a coach.
yes, we did.
Tell us about
Wiley,
that.
Wiley College just lost Tiffany Jackson. And what's crazy is that when I first heard the name, I just didn't make the connection. That she's the same Tiffany Jackson that I had been watching play. Um, I watched her play in college when she was at the University of Texas. I watched her play in the WNBA when she was at she played for the New York Liberty and LA. And I just like as soon as I saw her face, I was like, wow, that coach, it took me a minute. You know, she had just been hired at Wiley College in April to lead their women's basketball program. Um, but she is basketball. Um, she is basketball. She is uh, when you see her smile, you recognize her smile, right? She's got this big, enormous, beautiful smile. And as good as she was in basketball, the tributes that are pouring in let you know that she was an even better person. And so to
Gotcha.
lose someone like that, and she, from my understanding, she passed away because she had stage 3 breast cancer. She went through something like 16 rounds of chemo or 16 rounds of radiation, something like that. And she was in remission. And then apparently the cancer came back. And she passed away. But I think that, when we talk about women's athletics and women's sports and, the various impact that we can have. You look at Tiffany's life and her career and everything else, and it's just like she was like she was Texas basketball, and so then I think she played in the WNBA for like 9 years. Um,
So y'all, so the comp she had just got hired, or she had.
she had just got hired in April 2022, so she never got to coach her first season. Yeah.
Oh man, I bet that's devastating for her players.
So I think that I think that it speaks volumes to like so many different things, right? Like not just the life and legacy of someone, but the fact that sometimes you don't know the impact you're going to have until you start hearing about it or people start telling you things. And I was just
I mean,
thinking,
and that was why we did the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
Yes.
Um, so I just want to read some of her stats.
Okay.
She played in 123 career games with 103 starts during her time at Texas. Um, they were 83 and 43 during her playing days. Um, let me think. I'm sorry. I'm just reading. And y'all, Texas, University of Texas. I'm gonna copy this article and put it in the chat because I'm not doing any justice at all. That's the article that the University of Texas put up.
Mm.
And when you read, I want y'all to read that article and look at all of the things this woman accomplished. And keep in mind, they're just talking about basketball. I mean, but she's done so much more and impacted so many more lives. And so I think it's important that we recognize her, we honor her, because she is women's athletics. She is exactly what we are wanting to do, what we're trying to do, what we get on here every week to do, and that is to uplift, encourage, and support other women in athletics. And that is Tiffany Jackson. That was her. That is what she did on a regular basis. And she was always so quiet about it. You didn't hear about any drama or anything like that with her. She's a class act. She was absolutely a class act. So I think,
So you just hate to hear about the tragedy from that. You
but then
know
it
the
speaks to what you do as well, because she passed away after a bout with breast cancer. And even though it was in remission, but we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize that October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I think we'll get into that more maybe in the coming weeks, because I am a survivor of domestic violence. And I think that um, our two businesses, your business and then my nonprofit, it's very interesting how God works. I keep saying that, but you know, there's a reason that we're together. That He brought us together, but it's so much larger than just the two of us. Um, and the combination of what we're able to do together, I think, is major. So, I mean, I definitely want you to talk about your business and the why behind it, because I think the reason that you're doing this is so powerful. And um it, yeah, like it's just incredible
well,
to
yeah, the whole breast awareness month is that
uh-oh.
matter of fact she lived in Louisville. Um,
Hey Terry, we're
she
losing you.
had the same. Okay, well, go. Can you hear me now? Let me know when I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm driving through Frankfurt right now. It looks like we're on a bridge.
Okay.
But
I
go ahead
think
and
you're
hold us
good.
down until I'm back.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah, just hold us down until I get back.
Okay. Um.
Am I back?
So you're back. You're just delayed a little bit.
Yeah, just whenever I cut out, just hold us down until I get back.
All right. Try now. Try to go now because you
Can
seem
you
like
hear
you're up to speed now. Yep.
me? Okay, gotcha. Well, I was just saying that my friend Donna Williams is passed away of breast cancer. We thought had fought it. She had went through all the treatments, and then it came back very aggressive. Um, I'm I'm a proponent about a holistic lifestyle, and most people don't know that chemotherapy is literally poison in the body. So I'm gonna give a disclosure. I'm not a medical person. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to diagnose nothing, but I just think that we need to do a better job of researching more preventive ways to do things. And so my business basically is um, a health and wellness business where I educate people on getting the toxic products out of their home to prevent the cancer from happening, or at least to minimize the risk. Because most of our food and most of our daily products that we use on a regular basis all contain some type of carcinogen. And it's almost impossible to not be exposed because our government doesn't do its due diligence as far as making sure these companies are are safeguarding our food and our products. A lot of products that we
Mhm.
have in the United States are banned in European and overseas companies because they know for a fact that they contain poison and carcinogens and stuff that causes specifically cancer. Um, and so, because of the greed of our country, and um, everybody knows that the lawmakers are bought by the lobbyists who are paid by these companies to make sure that their agenda is being caused. Of course, I don't want our podcast to turn political,
Right.
um, but that's just the reality of what it is. So people need to really, really look at um, doing their own research. I mean, so my husband hates going to the store. Like we stopped going to the grocery store because he said I spend too much time reading the back of labels. So we had to start shopping separately because he's like, okay, you're wasting too much time. I just want to come in and get what I need to get, and then I want to go out. But um, because of you know people in our family and stuff like that, I don't, like I just lost my dad to cancer. My dad had um, pancreatic cancer, and I lost him in November. Of course, he didn't tell me. I had to find out about it. And the reason why I think he did not tell me was because for the last 3 or 4 years, I had been trying to convince him to change out the products in this house. I mean, just your soap, your deodorant, your dishwashing liquid, your cleaning products, your toothpaste, your mouthwash, your shampoo, a lot of stuff that we use on a daily basis that contain carcinogens. And of course, he wasn't trying to hear me. He's like, I just want to buy what I want to buy, and I understand most people are used to the brands that they buy, and they're comfortable with them, and it's very hard to change. Um,
Yeah.
and I get that. I totally get that. But um, when we're looking at creating a healthy lifestyle, we have to look at that at the whole total picture. So even when I talk to personal trainers recommend like protein and stuff like that, and most of that stuff is trash. And because when you go through the personal training certification, they don't talk about the fact that uh, the toxins can prevent you from losing weight, um, can prevent you from um, just having a total healthy lifestyle. I mean, that's basically it. So I'm really a proponent about um, educating on the whole um, toxic products and stuff that's in your home. I mean,
Yeah.
your lotion, toxins get in your body several ways. Topical, rubbing it on your skin or in the air or inhaling it or ingesting it. Those are ways that toxins can get into your body, and so you have to be careful about your candles, your air freshener, um, your perfume, um, your makeup, lipstick. Most lipsticks made by CoverGirl, Maybelline, um, all the major brands, most of them contain at least 50 toxins. And, and um, there's nothing that helps that, like the CDC and all those areas, the EPA, all those, none of them monitor any of that stuff. They could care less about what's in that stuff. All the companies care about is making their money.
Making
They don't
money.
care about they don't care about how it's affecting people, right? So the company that I'm with, that I use, I don't it's a shopping company. They right now, I'm collecting names of women right now that are actually going through breast cancer, and they're giving away 50 care packages.
Wow.
It's not, I just got to submit the name, so I don't know how many names are getting. So it'll be like a random drawing, and they're going to give away 50 care packages. And it's going to be a sample of a lot of the products that we use that are contained, that are cleaner and healthier versions for them, just
Wow.
as a gift as they're through their battle. And I really like that.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And I think it's so important to have, and it's I think our system is so um
Corrupt and money
corrupt,
driven.
it's jacked up. And not just from a health standpoint, but from a legal standpoint as well. So, the struggles that I went through um from the legal side of things. And my case wasn't even as severe as some of the others, you know. But it's like to think that so many companies are allowed to just do what they want, and
Money
there's no real regulation for it. There's no real accountability for things. And I think the whole system is just like you said, it's completely corrupt. They want to keep us sick so that we can keep going to the doctor. Big pharma
yes,
gets rich off of people
yes,
getting sick and keeping us sick.
right.
That there's nothing like, why are we talking about curing stuff as opposed to preventing it?
Right. And so what a lot of people don't know is that John D. Rockefeller back in the day put in millions of dollars and totally revamped all of the medical schools so that they can push the big pharma agenda. So they can make money off of pharmaceuticals. And that's why it's illegal to say something natural cure stuff. That's the reason why they don't want to legalized like marijuana, because marijuana is used for medicinal purposes. And but if marijuana can just be grown out in the street, then can't nobody make no money off of it,
Right.
right? If somebody tells you, okay, all you have to do is go exercise, go on a fast, eat clean, they can't make money off of that, right? But if they go to the doctor and say, oh, well, you're pre-diabetic, let me put you on this insulin, or let me put you on these high blood pressure pills, or let me put you on this cholesterol medicine, let
Right.
me put you on this acid reflux medicine, or whatever that they come up with. Um,
Right.
the 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 medical doctors are trained to give you a medication, and most medications all contain something that's going to continue to keep you sick because they all have side effects. Every time you see something on a commercial on the TV, they tell you about the 10,000 side effects that it could have.
Yeah,
But they
including
don't
killing
tell
you.
you, right.
That's
So, but
crazy.
they don't tell you that, um, you know, that you get sick for two reasons. One is for toxins, and the other one is for deficiency. So there are 102 minerals that the body is supposed to have, right? So they don't have like I can't go to the hospital to the doctor and get a mineral um, lab of the
Right.
102. So I can find out what minerals is my body deficient in. Because a lot of times, when you start feeling sick or there's something, there's usually a mineral deficiency. It could be magnesium, it could be vitamin E, it could be vitamin A, it could be zinc, it could be, and some of these things can treat and cure um, a lot of things. For instance, let's go back to the whole cancer, right? A lot of times, the reason why Black people get cancer is because of a lack of vitamin D. Okay. So
Mm,
back in the day when we were slaves and we were out in the sun, we were getting vitamin D naturally. But
right.
then if you live in more northern states and it's overcast or places, or you have a job and you're very seldom outside, now you're not getting as much vitamin D,
Right.
right? So a lot of times you can prevent cancer or at least reduce our risk as African Americans by increasing our D3 supplementation. Then let's go back to the whole supplementation. Even all supplements are not made the same. So it's the whole thing just perpetuates into just everything's a scam. So
Yeah.
now you got to do the research on even the supplements because sometimes the supplements are made um, made with oil. They have like an oil base, and and the oil based ones are the ones that don't really, it's almost like fake. So they make the supplements to be able to sell them and make you think that you're taking the supplement, but you're not really getting the supplement. That's basically what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
I'm the researcher, chat. I'm the researcher because again, my grandmother died at the age of 51 of a massive heart attack.
Mm,
And so I just went on a journey of um, health and wellness so that I can. I mean, I want to live till I'm 100, but I want to have my right
absolutely.
mind. I want to be able to think. I don't want to have dementia. I don't want to have Alzheimer's. I think my mother right now is at the beginning of Alzheimer's and dementia, and she's
Okay.
starting to really, really get forgetful. And I have an uncle that's the same way. So I have an uncle when I go see my uncle Steve, he'll ask me the same question like 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just answer that, but he doesn't know I just answered it. So I just go on and on and on and on and on
Looks like we may have lost Terry for a second again. She's in the car, so we're gonna
just cut out.
wait until she hops back on. But I think that these are also very important discussions because you know we end up sick and we don't know why, and so it's important to know the facts that she's discussing right now because when you know better, you do better, or at least you should. And so I think that, even some of the stuff
But
she's discussing
one of the
is that one of the things that she's discussing
okay,
is something that I had to learn. I had reproductive issues for years. And, I had to make a very tough decision to have a hysterectomy because it was causing some, I mean, the issues it was causing were potentially life threatening. But I think one of the things that I learned to do was I took myself off of a lot of the medications that they had me on because the meds were making me feel worse. And so it's like, oh, okay, great. I'm not bleeding profusely anymore, but I'm also unable to eat. Every time I eat, I vomit. Um, I can't hold my food down. I'm throwing up water. So now I'm getting less nutrients than I need. Um, and so I started doing my own research about things that I could take and eat and do naturally to try to heal my body. I'm still doing that today. There are times where I just cut out everything and I do straight veggies. I've done a completely raw diet, raw veggies. So a raw diet is you don't even cook your food. You're eating nuts, berries, fruits, vegetables. It's completely raw and or you're juicing it. So I was doing that and it was hard, but it helped my body do a complete reset. And so I I really want to get back to doing that again, and doing it more consistently until it really just becomes my natural lifestyle. So I think Terry's back now.
I think that's the thing is you got to make it a lifestyle, right? So fasting for me is like a lifestyle. So I go to lunch at
Uh-uh.
10:30. And so I usually fast for 16 hours and then I eat between an 8 hour period. Because I, I've learned that one of the healthiest ways to stay healthy is to fast,
Yeah.
because it just helps to cleanse the body. And it's biblical as well. Um, and so fasting is always, fasting has been a lifestyle for me. But one of the things about the whole medical thing is going to the doctor for a black woman is like a black male dealing with the police.
Mm,
Like we're
it
the
is.
lowest level on the totem pole when it comes to our health, and we get misdiagnosed so many times. My husband's in the car right now, and I'll be honest with you, it hurts me to my heart because I feel like my mother, we lost our mother-in-law because of a misdiagnosis or she was over medicated. And to this day, we're really still talking about that because we felt like it was something that could have been prevented, if people would be more mindful and if they really kind of knew what they do. Because I think they guess, well, this is what I
Yeah.
think is wrong with you, and so we're going to give you this medication. Then they don't tell you that you're already on this medication, so don't take this medication. Oh, let me tell you about another story. My husband was getting ready to have knee surgery, right? He went to the pharmacist. The pharmacist told him to take this blood thinner. They was about to wheel my baby in to his surgery, and a nurse, and I know it wasn't nothing but God, was like, "You didn't take any of those medications, did you?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, we can't do the surgery right now because you would bleed to death." So again, how many times has that happened where a pharmacist has given the wrong information or the doctor has given the wrong diagnosis? Oh, and let me throw this one out. The third largest um, way of dying is medical malpractice.
And it's hard to hold them accountable because they always coin it as something else. And there's so much protection for people
Yes,
who do wrong. It's
yes,
crazy.
yes, yeah. Medical malpractice is the third largest way um, that people die. I forgot the first one. It might be just the whole diabetes or cardiovascular or something, but I
Hmm.
think those might be the first two, right?
Yeah.
You know. But again, most of those things can be, eh, most diseases and stuff can be switched by by just regular exercise and a good diet.
Yep.
But with all the food, the stuff that we got in our foods, it's even hard to buy healthy food. And then they make healthy food expensive.
Mhm.
We don't if we do, we don't. So that's
Yeah.
that's my soapbox on the whole
But I think
medical
it's
thing.
very important to understand the connection between what we put in our bodies and how our bodies respond. And then especially as athletes, right? The importance
Yes,
of athletes knowing that what they're doing to their bodies to bulk up, build endurance, and all this other stuff may not actually be what their body needs.
right.
But
And
again, it
there
goes
was
back to big pharma and all these companies who are all about the money. And so
they're
we're
all
dying while you're
yeah,
making
getting
money
paid
off of us dying, basically.
basically. So there is a
Um,
documentary called is it called How's Your Health? There's one called How's Your Health that I totally recommend. And then there's another one, and I can't think of the name of it, but it basically talks about how a plant-based diet is athletes that are on more of a plant-based diet have more endurance, have more muscle mass, have more, their bodies are just healthier. But a plant-based diet, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't do a plant-based diet. I really, really tried. You know, now I don't do like we don't do like red meat at all. Like we may
mhm.
eat red meat maybe once a year. Every once in a while, we might have a burger or something like that, but we don't do any red meat. We eat mostly just chicken and fish. But it was definitely hard to give up chicken because you're just kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Um, but I would love to go on a plant-based diet if I can find some alternatives because I'm not a vegetable person. I eat green beans and broccoli, and I think that's about it. And then I found out that broccoli is a genetically modified vegetable. It's not even it's something somebody made up. So then I'm like, okay, now we don't even know what vegetables are real anymore.
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was when I on my research, I found out that broccoli wasn't what do they call it? It was like genetically modified.
That's insane to me
So,
because I
but
love
and it's
broccoli.
I love broccoli too. Yeah, right. I mean, I still eat it, but when I'm eating it, it's like I'm shaking my head because I'm like, we can't win. It's like almost impossible to win. So
That's
all we
insane to
can
me.
do is just pray and do our best to try to prevent um, as much as possible. So that's why I'm all about at least I can control my laundry detergent and my lotion and my soap and
Listen,
um,
right.
that type of stuff as much as I can. Um, because at least I buy from a company that I know is very diligent about making sure that those products, essential products, are safer and healthier than the stuff that I'm going to just randomly go and buy in the store.
So tell people, because we have about 10 minutes left, tell people,
Already?
I know, right? It goes by so fast. Tell people
Mhm.
how to reach out to you. Number one, if they are cancer survivors, how can they get in touch with you to get the care package from your company? And then also, how can they contact you if they are interested or need help, they need a consultation um, to learn some different ways to live a healthier lifestyle?
They can go to CoachTerryBryant.com. Um, I think my contact information is on there. If not, I don't mind people just texting me and calling me directly. My phone number is 859-312-4939. But Coach Terry Bryant definitely gives some information on living a healthier lifestyle. And matter of fact, you can go go to that site, and there should be a link on there to actually take a survey, where you could take a survey as and look at the products that you have in your house, and
Mhm.
it can kind of show you just how you can go some of the products that the company has that you can switch out. But it's mainly most of your essential products, stuff you're
Awesome.
gonna go to the store and use anyway, and you have
Yeah,
to buy on a regular basis, on a monthly basis.
got you.
Who's not buying soap and deodorant and toothpaste and lotion and laundry detergent, dishwashing
Right.
detergent, dryer sheets, all that type of stuff. So we have healthier versions of all of those type of essential products. But yeah,
Yeah.
CoachTerryBryan.com will get you started.
Awesome. Wow. Well, today's show went by fast. Probably not your typical sports show, but understanding that you have a coach on the line with you who's not only invested in coaching, but also developing healthy athletes and healthy homes. And so I think that, what she discussed tonight is very important. Please, please, please hit her up. All right, y'all. Hit up Coach Terry. Get what you need. Get the advice that you need. Let her help you create a healthy home. Okay. We should be living, and doing so in a way that is um, where we're not spending more of our time at the doctor than we are living our lives. And so I think, let's get back to life. Let's really focus in on living our lives and being healthy, being whole. Um, that's important. We shouldn't be sick all the time. Something wrong.
Right. And
Something's
and
wrong.
you you're a minister, so one of the things that I like to talk about, because most of the people that I know are believers, are believers. And one of the things that I think I like to expound on is the fact that, you know, God said that we're supposed to love our neighbor like we love ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think where we're missing the boat at in the church is the part that says, um, if we are to love our neighbors as ourselves, how do we not take care of ourselves first?
Right.
It's kind of like being on an airplane. They tell you to make sure you put the mask on first. How are you supposed to be able to help other people and be a blessing to other people if you're not healthy, or if
Right.
you're not at your most optimum self, at your most optimum health? Because if you're feeling sick and you're not your best self, you're not treating people right, your relationships suffer. It it it's just a domino effect on everything.
It
And so
is.
you gotta and so if you're not healthy, you're not taking care of yourself first, and you don't care about taking care of yourself, how can you say you can love somebody else and you're not taking care of yourself? I know that's a touchy subject that a lot of people have for the church. When it comes from me, I'm not being judgmental, but I just don't know how you can say that, you love me and you're not taking care of yourself. That's why I love my husband the way he does, because he loves him some him. And he's in the gym, and he likes to eat what he wants to eat, which I'm fine with that. But I love just how he likes to take care of himself, and that was kind of one of the prerequisites when he and I both got together. Was um, we were both attracted to the fact that we both loved the healthier lifestyle, and
Yeah.
but mine was because, um, like I said, my grandmother died at an early age, and my thing was I just know how much we miss her, and
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
I kind of felt like, dang, that's kind of selfish of you that you didn't take care of yourself more so that you could be
Yeah.
around for us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and I do think that's selfish. It's almost kind of, it's literally suicide, but people don't look at it as suicide,
Mm-mm.
because you're
We
stunning
don't.
your growth. You're killing yourself by not eating right, by not being healthy, by not taking care of yourself, by not being more
Yeah.
diligent about um, what you expose your body to, and and I don't know. I just would like to be more of an advocate and help people to be able to make those type of decisions and to educate them on that. So I definitely appreciate
Absolutely.
our platform, and I appreciate you bringing that up in today's
Yeah.
podcast. So we could definitely bring that to light. So we
Yes.
got 5 minutes, girl. How you gonna
I
close us out?
know. 5 minutes. Wow. I feel like today's show went by super fast. Like it felt like it was faster than normal. But
Yes. Cause how about
so
I'm home? How about I done drove all the way from Louisville? We just pulled in the driveway.
wow. Thank God for technology.
I
Um,
know.
so I think today I want to end with an educational moment. And today's educational moment is courtesy of Brett Favre and Ime Udoka. I think they need a lesson in the golden rule to not only treat others the way you would want to be treated, but treat others the way that you're supposed to treat them, with dignity, with respect. And one of my friends, who then became my book coach, Jasmine Womack, always says, you cannot be a private mess and a public success.
Come on. Preach that.
So to Brett Favre and to Ime Udoka, you cannot be a private mess and a public success. Our private mess always comes out. It is a sociological perspective, it is a psychological perspective, it is a biblical perspective. There are so many reasons why you cannot do both. You cannot treat people however you want to treat them and think that by hiding it that no one knows or that no one is going to find out. You cannot steal someone's wife, multiple wives, and cheat on yours, have them cheating on their husbands, and think that no one is going to know about the dirt that you've done. You
Lord have
cannot
mercy.
steal millions of dollars, period, let alone from this world's, this nation's most needy people, and think you're going to hide and sweep it under the rug. Okay? Because let me tell you something, snitches ain't no longer getting stitches, right?
They ended up in ditches.
Okay? Like someone is going to let it be known. You cannot, you y'all got to do better. So I'm hoping that we can look at these two public figures, these two men that publicly had it all together, publicly were doing great things. They were role models, they were this and that, all this positive stuff. But privately, they were a hot garbage mess.
Absolutely.
And it's not to say that we don't have our moments. Like everybody had, like we all have a past. We all have our moments. We all have things
Yes.
that we've done that we're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't believe I
I'm
did
thinking
that. I
in my
can't believe I
grave.
said that. Listen, I'm not talking about moments. I'm talking about you are a trashy, you have a trash character. you don't live what you say you believe.
Yeah. Leave. Yeah.
So I don't care to listen to Brett Favre's Christian network. Eh.
Yeah. He can't tell me nothing.
You it, like no sir. But what I'm glad about is that people are um, really beginning to lay into him and lay into Ime Udoka. Why? Because you've not just made a decision that's selfish. You've made this decision repeatedly. It has become your character and it is negatively impacting others, the
Yeah.
lives of others. Brett
Absolutely.
Favre impacting the livelihood of others, funding that needed to go to people to get food, clothing, housing. Sir, you
Yes.
could have taken your Wrangler jeans contract and paid for that doggone volleyball facility.
Facts.
How about you sell a few of your horses? How about you sell a few some acres on your land and do something with that?
You could have just did a fundraiser, autograph signing fundraiser or something at the school or something. You could have came up
Something.
with something.
But you didn't have to steal. And then to say that you didn't know about it, your lawyer released a statement saying that you didn't know about it. Let me tell you something. Ain't no way I'm going to get millions of dollars. Listen, you can't even send me $10 without me knowing where it's coming from.
Right. But the
Ain't no
fact
way
that
$10 is gonna show up in my bank account and I'm gonna be like, oh.
right, God is
So
talking about
so
God is good. Look at God.
right. So to say that you got all this money to build this facility and you don't know where it came from,
But the
again,
fact that the truth came out and he did know. The text messages showed that he knew exactly because he was like,
yes.
"This nobody's gonna hear about no learn about this, will they?"
But again,
Uh,
here comes your lawyer trying to say you really didn't know what it was gonna be used for. Yes, you did.
yes,
You
you
knew.
did. You knew
You knew
exactly,
and you're trifling for it.
and you trifling.
Um, so that's my educational moment for today. I really
That's
wanted
good.
to go in deeper, but y'all know from last week, every time I start to talk about those situations, especially Brett Favre, it makes my blood boil. It
Yeah.
really does because it's so hurtful. You know, we have people like that who will criticize the needy for being needy and call them lazy and call them all these things, but then you take from them. So
Yeah.
now how are they supposed to get what they need to help them get back where they want to be and be self-sufficient again?
Yeah.
See, because not everybody who needs assistance is lazy. Not everybody who needs assistance is unwilling or unable or using the system so they don't have to work. There was a couple out in, I think they were on the West Coast somewhere, California maybe, raking in thousands, tens of thousands of dollars every year in welfare. They were living in a bomb home. I don't know whose kids they were writing off. It was just such a huge scandal. And so when you don't do right by others, don't expect the right things to come to you. Because what you're
Absolutely.
going to think is that these right things are blessings from God. But really, what it is the devil playing tricks on you because he about to set you up for the okey doke.
Absolutely.
That's the educational moment tonight for Hits and Heels. Don't
That's
be a
it.
trash human being. Don't do it. Don't be
Don't
trash.
do it.
Okay?
Don't do it.
Seriously, do unto
Your
others as
your
you want.
character is what is what you do when nobody is watching.
Absolutely. And ultimately, it precedes you.
Yes.
These shows go too fast, sis. Uh, but I'm grateful. I really
Absolutely.
want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching the replays. Um, for last week's show on YouTube, um, it should be there. I had to hide it for a second because it was like glitchy, but I think we're good to go now. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Um, just get on YouTube, search for Hits and Heels, okay? Because our YouTube channel link right now is not branded. But if you get yourself, your mama and them, and your best friend to subscribe to our channel and make sure that you view our channel and view our videos on YouTube, we can get our watch hours up, get our subscribers up, and then we can have our own branded link. So please, please, please connect with us. Like, share, comment. Don't just hide when you get online and just watch and snoop. Go ahead and engage with us. Leave your comments. Talk back to us. That's why we have this show. We want your opinions. We want to know what you guys think about the situations that we're talking about. Hear your experiences in athletics, and grow with us. We don't know everything. We're sharing from our hearts and our experiences, but we also want to hear what you guys know and what your experiences are, because that's what this is all about. We are lifting as we grow. So come get lifted. All right, Terry, you got anything
It's
else for our good
a
people?
wrap, sis. You
It's
brought it
a wrap.
brought it right home, sis. It's a
It's
wrap.
a wrap.
Wrap.
See y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Love you.